am Pastor Jerry. I celebrate the unction and grace of God upon your life. Some time ago, I want to apologize to God Almighty for making this testimony a little bit late. Pastor Jerry, some time ago, you gave a word of knowledge concerning about a family that had a house help that wants to do some occultic practices to maim us.
Hear me, I don't know who has this word, and you want to understand my voice, that your domestic staff is planning evil against you. That is what I hear before the end of today. If you will not give back your testimony, Mashabala, Rakota, we command the negativity be interrupted by fire. Let your amen sound like fire.
Immediately you gave that word, my wife had to run downstairs, and immediately she came downstairs, she literally saw our house help, the house help we had then, trying to use her blood, the blood from her menses, to put into our food. So she was virtually laying the blood. She was performing a ritual in the kitchen, putting the drop, started from the door, one step, dropping it one step to another step until she got to the place where the pot of food were. She was on the verge of putting that blood inside the food when my wife came down. And, when I was called, this thing sounded like something I watch in Nollywood. I couldn't believe it. So I didn't confer with flesh and blood. There and then I asked the girl to pack her things, and I called the lady that helped us bring her to please come immediately. Gave them money, please take back this girl back to the family. I wonder what would happen, what would have happened. I wonder what would have happened if you didn't give that word of knowledge and my wife came at the nick of time. I don't know what was her plan. I don't know whatever is her intention. All I know that God showed me mercy and delivered us. I want to thank you, Pastor Jerry. I want to thank you, Pastor K. I want to thank you, Pastor Ogoro. I want to thank God Almighty, especially for His mercies. Thank you.
What God cannot do
does not exist.
What God cannot do
does not exist.
Pastor Jerry, we are the family the Lord has shown mercy. Pastor Jerry, we are testifying from the United States of America. My name is Olivia Ayong. This is our son, Bryce Engel.
And my name is Ignatius Teti.
My husband. Pastor Jerry, Bryce was diagnosed with cancer of the bone marrow November 2021, and he was on chemo for about 4 months. And then the doctors said chemo did not respond to the type of tumor he had, and he was left with no treatment. The only option they said was to amputate his arm, which we refused. And we have been following you because we learned about your ministry from my sister who lives in Dubai. So we follow you all night. Even Bryce, who is usually on chemo, he will follow you as from 2 a.m. here in the United States. So when you came to Houston, when we learned you were coming to Houston, we left Maryland to Houston. And we were up the stage to mention about Bryce's case. And these are the images, the scans from the hospital that they say no doctor could cure Bryce, no medication could cure him. Whatever could be the solution was just the amputation. We refused, and they reported us to the government, and they were threatening us to take our son to give him to foster care. So we key to the word each time when you mention that cancer of the bone marrow is reversed.
Cancer of the bone marrow, cancer of the bone marrow, cancer of the bone marrow. If you are the one putting it on the live stream, by the power that raised Jesus from the dead, we command cancer of the bone marrow be reversed by fire, be reversed by fire.
So we usually key to this word of knowledge. Bryce is now, to the glory of God, Bryce is cancer free. Cancer free today. What God cannot do
does not exist.
What God cannot do
Does not exist.
How can I show? How can I show? Pastor Jerry, God bless you all. Pastor Jerry, continue your work. May the anointing on your head never dry. Thank you, Pastor Jerry. Thank you. Does not exist.
What God cannot do does not exist. What our God cannot do does not exist. My name is Francis and I'm making this video from Enugu. It happened on the 14th of January. On my way back from New Haven where I went to buy water. So when I was driving back home along Rangers Avenue axis close to GTB Bank, I noticed this car that was following me. It's a black Corolla car without a plate number. It raised my suspicion because there was no plate number the way it was the car was driving, following me. So I entered a street on my right. So okay, let me just enter this street. If they turn the street with me, that means they're following me. Then I know what to do. So though I wasn't on speed, so immediately I entered the street, they drive with speed and double crossed me. So when they double crossed me, one of them jumped out immediately with a gun. I was like, okay, oh yeah, let's move. I was like, move to where? He said, let's move. I should come down and enter their car, let's move. I put my car on reverse. So they blocked me with their car. So as at that moment, I know there was nothing I could do than pray. So I just prayed. I said, God, deliver me from these people. What you cannot do does not exist. So the guy was dragging my car door with me before one of them came down from their car with a bumper shot, opened my passenger side of the car and shot me in a close range of 1 foot. The force of the gun threw me out from the car and tumbled me twice. They left thinking I was dead. So I was screaming for help. People came. One guy now came to where I was lying down on the floor bleeding, and the guy said, "Are you the owner of that car that hit pole?" I said, "I don't know." He was like, "It's a Lexus." I said, "Okay, it's mine." He was like, "Are you with the key?" I said, "Yeah." So I brought out the key from my pocket and gave to him. So he drove the car close to where I was lying down, and they carried me and put me in my car. The guy now drove me to Niger Foundation Hospital. So on our way to the hospital, he called the New Haven police people and told them there is a case of gunshot, that he's taking the person to Niger Foundation, that they should come. So the police people responded that they are on their way. So immediately, so by the time we got to Niger Foundation, the police people arrived. So they said the doctor that was supposed to attend to me was not sick. So they took me to Parkland Teaching Hospital. This thing was happening around 9-10 in the night. When we got to Parkland Teaching Hospital, they admitted me because the police people were there. They admitted me, started treatment immediately, trying to stop the bleeding and all that because I was shot on my waist. Then on Sunday, the following day, because this happened on Saturday, 14th January was a Saturday. Then on Sunday, 15th January, I went for X-ray. So before then, the doctor came there. They said I need to do X-ray so that they know where the bullets are, so that they know what to do. Then after the X-ray, it happens that I had 53 pellets in my body. Out of the 53, 20 of it were in my intestine. Like my intestine weighed 20 of it. It can only be God. None of the bullet touched my spine. None of the bullet break my pelvic bone. None of the bullet entered my kidney nor my liver. My intestine weighed 20 out of 53. The other 33 were just around my pelvic region and my spinal cord region. After the surgery on Sunday evening, I was in Parkland throughout January, February, then 1st of March I was discharged. So before I was discharged, the doctors came. They came to meet me. They told me, we've removed the 20, then drain your stomach, because I had internal bleeding. That is remaining 33, but those 33 are not threat to life. That is something that I'm going to live with. But I was in pain. So when I got back home on the 1st, then on the 2nd, Pastor Jerry mentioned my case. He said there is someone here that you encounter some hoodlums and they shot at you. And the doctors are saying that where the bullets are, they can't remove them because that place is sensitive.
I don't know who you are. You encountered some hoodlums. You encountered the wrong man, and they shot at you. And they said there's a bullet in your body, but where it is, they cannot remove it because of how sensitive it is. You have been in pain. If you will not give back your testimony, we send the angels. We send the angels. Let them take it away. Let them take it away.
2 weeks interval. I went for another X-ray, and it happens that the whole pellet have all disappeared. The 33 pellets, 33 have disappeared from my body. Look at me, that the doctor said I'm going to use clutches for 6 months. This is the clutches I use. I used this clutch like 5 weeks, and I dropped it. Now I can walk very well. I can walk very well without the clutches. If you see me, you won't even know that this is the person that was shot on January 14th. Like, you won't even know that this is the person that had this major surgery. Like, I am happy, Pastor Jerry. My generation encountered you. My generation encountered a true man of God. A true man of God, that his prophecies, all his prophecies comes to pass. A true man of God that defies physicalities and distance. Pastor Jerry, thank you.
What God of Pastor Jerry cannot do does not exist. God of NSPPD. My name is Queen from United States. I have been long seeking for employment. After I lost my previous job, I put in application. They will call me for an interview. They will say, when can you start? I mean, it's like they love me. Pastor Jerry, as soon as I get home, the next day, the same time, the same hour, I will receive a rejection letter, email. And it's not one company, not two, and everything happens the same way. With my skills, with my knowledge, Pastor Jerry, the rejection became so much. Then one day, Pastor Jerry made a declaration and said, we should write 7 things that we want God to do for us, and put a date on it. I wrote the job. You see, all this is what I have, all my prayer requests. So I wrote new job employment. You see the date right here? It's old because it's been a long time. Okay, so you see the date right there? So I put the date of February 2023 was the day I put. Then he also said we should write a transition note. Okay, so this is my transition note. So I put new job employment with double salary and put the date. You know, I don't even have a job. I'm asking for double salaries. So after the prayer, I got a call from another hospital. I didn't even remember I applied. And he said, is this Queen? I said, yes. He said, oh, congratulations. We have reconsidered when can you start, but we need you as soon as possible. Can you start next week? I said, yes. I was so excited in my mind. I said, God, like what God cannot do. I said, wow. Then she said, she continued, she said, okay, I can hear, I think you're driving. I'm sending you email. So as she was talking, she was sending me email back to back. When you get home, print those email. We need you to get your blood work done, blah, blah, blah. It was just fast back to back. As soon as I got home, I received another text from hiring director. In the text, she said, hi, Queen, we extended this offer to you, and I know they already called you, but I am making a change on that offer. Making a change in that offer. We're giving you a different position so you can earn more money. Pastor Jerry, you see this God that you serve, this God that you bring us all together, He's the God. Nobody can tell me otherwise. He is the one. I don't know any other God but this God of NSPPD. She said the test, we are doubling your salary, then we are moving your position to another position. Pastor Jerry, you know how things will happen? You don't even know what to do. Should you cry? Should you laugh? You're just shocked. That night I couldn't sleep. What is going on? And then it was time for NSPPD. My joy was overwhelmed. I was so awake, waiting for the hour to come. You see, when God does things for you, it builds your faith. Anybody that is trusting God for anything, stay in this altar. Please don't watch later. You need to be there live when it's hot. Because this God is here. There's God in this altar. He comes there at that time, that 7 a.m., 1 a.m. He comes there and he's waiting to give a lot of blessings. I've received multiple blessings since I've joined the altar of fire. Pastor Jerry, please don't stop. No matter how they come for you, don't stop. I don't know who else God can send to do this work that you are doing with all your heart. Thank you.
NSPPD, what God cannot do does not exist. I joined NSPPD 2020. I fast forward to 2022 when during Pastor Jerry birthday, when he said we should print whatever thing we want God to do for us. With my faith, I need twins. That is what I need. So I came out, I buy baby clothes, and I bought baby girl clothes and baby boy clothes. So I bring the clothes to the altar of fire the next morning. So after then, I'll bring the clothes every morning to the altar of fire to pray with the clothes every morning. So during December period, I was not feeling fine. I said, let me go for check-up, let me go and check. So when I got there, the doctor, so after the test and everything, they bring my result. They said I'm pregnant with twins. I was so happy. I said, none of my pregnancy started. So one morning I wake up, somebody just sent me a message because I don't have any issue with anybody. So the person just sent me a message that how is it possible that you are pregnant? How is it possible that you are pregnant? You are not going to deliver this baby. You will die with this pregnancy. If you even manage to deliver this baby, you will die. You will not deliver this baby. How is it possible that you are pregnant? How is it possible? I said, So I showed my husband the message. So the person, after the person sent me a message, the person blocked me. So the person again, the next 2 days, the person sent my husband the message that she's not going to die. Your wife is not going to deliver that baby. She will die with that pregnancy. She will not going to deliver that baby. We will go the highest places for her. How is it possible that she's pregnant? Who did it for her? So my husband, the person blocked. So my husband used another number to shut the person down. You are not a God. Anywhere you will go for her, anything you do, he will return back to you. She will deliver safety. Nothing will go wrong. So after then, different things started happening. Different challenges started happening. I started having bad dreams, different things. Sometimes if I stand on my own, I will collapse. My husband will rush me to hospital. Every midnight, he will just rush me to hospital. every midnight. So even me, I was so tired. So, and when Pastor Jerry prayed that no pregnant woman will die with their pregnancy, nothing will go wrong.
I'm led to declare this once again. No pregnant woman will die in childbirth. I reverse this ambulance. I reverse it. Return back to where you're coming from.
During my labor period, it was so tough inside there. Even the doctor will ask me, are you a Christian? I will say I'm a Christian. What will come out from my mother? Oh God, of Pastor Jerry help me. What God cannot do does not exist. Not under my watch. I'm hearing people testimony. It will not reach my tongue. My own testimony will not manifest. I'm just praying on my mind. Before I know, my first baby come out, he was just crying. I say, God, oh God of Pastor Jerry, thank you. God, thank you. I was just thanking God. My second baby come out again. I just want to say, thank you, Jesus, for what you have done for me. Thank you, Pastor Jerry. I just want to say thank you, Jesus. God surprised me with 2 boys. My baby is fine and I'm fine. Thank you, Jesus. I want to say thank you, Jesus. I want to say thank you, Jesus, for what you have done for me, for making that word not to come to pass. Thank you, Jesus. I know that God will do it for me, and you already do it for me. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus, for what you have done for me. Nothing go wrong in my life. I did not die. My children did not go wrong in my life. I know that you have already done it for me. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus.
Can you see?
What God cannot do does not exist. What my God cannot do does not exist. My name is Haningi Huntlo Nathaniel, and I'm doing this testimony from Jos Plateau State of Nigeria. Last year, I was diagnosed of cancer. It all started when I traveled home for my brother's burial. And on my way back, I fell ill. So I was on and off until around August, when I discovered a lump on my left breast. So I decided to see a doctor. I got to the hospital. The doctor looked at me and he said that it was not something serious. It doesn't look serious, but that we are going to remove it. I was like, okay. At the same time, I was having a burning sensation on my right side. So I told him about it. He was like, it is an appendix, so we are going to remove it altogether. So the operation was carried out, and after some weeks, I went back to see the doctor. As usual, the sample was taken for investigation. So when I got there, the doctor was like, I'm sorry, I don't have a good news for you, that the sample taken from my breast shows that it was suspicious. I was like, okay, what next to do? He was like, okay, what to do was for him to carry out a what do they call it, mastectomy or something. I was like, but you said it's suspicious. Why don't we confirm it first? He was like, okay, yeah, we can still take it for another investigation. So it was taken again for investigation. After 2 weeks, they brought it back. They said it was showing triple negative. That's the name of the cancer. And triple negative is a dangerous kind of cancer that is aggressive. So what to do next was to carry out mastectomy immediately. You know, just as I earlier said, I lost my brother. He had a kidney issue. And that was when I was introduced to NSPPD. But, you know, so after then, I was not following the NSPPD again. But this time around, every morning I will see the link again on my phone. It was sent to me by a customer. Her name is Amina. She will always send it in the morning. So when I saw it, I was like, one of the days I decided to open up to her, and I told her, I said, this is it. I was diagnosed with cancer and everything. She was like, Mama, just keep watching this. People receive their healings and everything. keep watching it. Your time will come and you give your testimony. I was like, amen. So that was how I started religiously following the NSPPD before I traveled down to Abuja. And when I got to Abuja, it was an opportunity for me to visit Streams of Joy. So I went there like 3 times and I had an encounter. For the 3 times I went, it was powerful. And when I got there, she called me, were you able to see Papa? I said the atmosphere was fine, was okay for me. I don't need to see Papa. This atmosphere was okay. Papa, when I got to Abuja, there was a lot of investigation. At the end of everything, they said if I can afford it, I should go for PET scan in Lagos. So we traveled for the PET scan. And before then, Pastor, I will say something. On the 29th of November, you said we should bring out our reports, all the negative reports. We should bring it out and keep it close to our devices. And you prayed and you reversed it. And you said whatever it is, you're reversing it, all the negative results. I keyed into it. And before that one, a lady came from Kaduna. She was live on NSPPD. She testified of how God reversed everything. Cancer. I was like, I keyed into it too. Another lady came out and talked about 2 siblings that were cancer, that were going through the same problem. And Pastor, you said something. You said, if God can heal 2 at once, He can heal you that has 1. I keyed into it, Pastor. I keyed and keyed and keyed until one of the keys opened the door for my own testimony. So when the result came out, it still shows that it was cancer, a triple negative cancer. At this point, Pastor, it was terrible. That was how I was connected to an oncologist. So he looked at me and said, this is 6 months down the drain. There's little, if I discover you have cancer, there's little or nothing I can do for you because this is an aggressive kind of cancer. So when he was done talking and everything with the examination, he looked at me, he said, I'm sending you for scan and everything, all those procedures, you know. So I looked at him and I said, Pastor, doctor, he said, yes. I said, do you believe in miracle? He looked at me and he laughed sarcastically. He said, yes, but first of all, I'm a doctor, you know. I was like, okay, if you don't, I said, start believing because you are going to use my case as one of your cases in the hospital as a miracle. He smiled and I left. Pastor Jerry, I went. They did the scan and all the procedures, you know, and everything, all the tests that I needed to do. We finished, came back to him. And he saw that my vitals were still okay. At that point, he decided, he said he's taking me back to the theater. And that the only thing to do was to take a sample from that same place. Since that one was checked here and another was checked in Zaria, the other one was even out of the country, you know, cure people and everything. He said, and it's still showing cancer, so we have to take you back. So he took me back to the theater. On that day, I was listening to Papa. I entered into the theater with it, came out. So one of the days you were saying, you don't know why you're saying this, that we should laugh. Papa, I found myself laughing. I laughed my life out. I couldn't control it. One of the days, I saw you in my dream. There was a fence. We were all fenced with iron. And you were coming, praying for all these youths and sending them out. The door, you asked them to open the door, so the door was open. It was fenced with iron, but the door was opened by you. You were commanding the people to go. After praying for them, you were asking them to go. When it reached my point, Papa, you didn't tell me anything. You didn't even pray for me. You just went ahead and you asked me to follow. And I followed and I saw myself, I was out of the place. Another day again, I saw you in my dream. You were asking me, oh yeah, write your prayer point. So that day in my dream, I wrote everything. So after writing everything, I now discovered that I didn't write the cancer thing. I was like, So I came back to look for a space to write. I couldn't find it. And there I got the interpretation that there's no cancer. So what do you want to write? I woke up, I was excited. It was on the 12th that Papa said something. He said, write the list of all those things you don't like, you want to expire in your life. Write the dates as 13th.
Now the Spirit of God said to us that you are going to be intentional about writing down 10 things, whether in your life or in the life of your family members, that must expire. People of God, you must, and put the date of their expiration to be tomorrow morning. And this is what you're going to write. Number 1, a poverty expired on the 13th, of April. And that's what you're going to write until you write 10 of them. This one expired, that one expired, that one expired, that one expired, until you write the 10 of them.
Papa, I wrote cancer expired on the 13th of April. And I was to see them on the 13th of April. When I got to the hospital, I entered the consultation room. There were 4 in the room. So the doctor heard my voice. He was like, oh, madam, you are here. Why are you excited? I said, I don't even know. He said, thank God. I sat down by the side. So he asked one of the doctors to take care of me. He was like, report her results directly to me. So he looked at me and he was going through my history and looking at me. He was like, madam, you mean you went through all those things? I said, yes. He now said, congratulations. The sample taken from your breast shows that it was not cancerous. So go live your life. No more chemo, no more any treatment. Go and live your life. I screamed. I said, Hearing me shouting, the doctor now asked, that's the professor. He now said, read the result out for me. He read the result for him. He was like, this is good news. I asked him, I said, sir, did you say good news? He said, yes. Pastor, I screamed. I shouted. I asked him, can I give you a hug? He said, yes. I gave him a hug. I gave all of them a hug. Came back, I was crying. I said, what God cannot do does not exist. So he looked at me, he said, I want to see you. I now went. He looked at me and he said, madam, congratulations. I'm happy for you. But you know what? This is my testimony, Pastor. This is the main testimony. He said, you know what? I said, no. He said, it is good news for you. He said, but me, like this, I am thrown in the state of confusion because I've never seen a thing like this. He said, it has never happened before. He said, in his years of experience as a professor, he has not seen a thing like this. That was when I remind him of what I told him the other day. I said, do you remember what I told you? I said, you're going to use my case as an example. He laughed. He said, yes, I remember. But you know, I'm not here as a miracle worker. I am a doctor. And we laughed over it. And that is my testimony. What God cannot do does not exist. Pastor Jerry, I don't know how to say thank you. I am so grateful to God because it has helped me. This situation has helped me grow. This NSPPD has made me, in fact, the testimony has gone further. Everybody, before I even share it, everybody is connected to NSPPD because of me. I want to say thank you. The Lord bless you. What God cannot does not exist.
NSPPD, celebrate the Lord! Celebrate the Lord! Celebrate the Lord! Celebrate the King of Kings, the miracle.